domination. Go squad, secure your objectives. Securing A. Enemy has C. Alpha secure. Securing B. Losing Alpha. We're in the lead. Bravo secure. IMS ready for deployment. Enemy has C. Losing Bravo. Losing Alpha. Losing B. We lost B. Enemy has B. IMS at your disposal. Care package ready for delivery. Securing C. Bravo secure. Losing Alpha. We lost Alpha. Enemy has A. Securing Alpha. IMS ready for deployment. Alpha secure. Losing Bravo. Sentry gun ready for deployment. Target down. Losing Bravo. We got a man down. Semi-24 standing by. Friendly chopper inbound.
It's in the open! Target neutralized.
Securing C. Losing B. Losing A. Losing Charlie. Care package ready for direction. IMS ready for deployment. Your sentry gun is gone. Losing C. We lost C. Enemy has C.
Cover me, I'm moving!
Losing B. Friendly A-10 inbound.
Wings level.
Destroyed your IMS.
Solid copy.
Securing Charlie. All points held. Defend your position. Losing Bravo. We lost B. Enemy has B. Losing Alpha. We lost A. Enemy has A. Securing B. B secure. IMS at your disposal. All points held. Defend your positions. Losing Bravo. Your sentry gun is ready for deployment. We lost Bravo. Enemy has B.
Changing back.
Standing by. Securing Bravo. Losing Alpha. We lost A.
Cover me, I'm reloading.
Enemy has Alpha. Friendly chopper inbound. Be secure. IMS at your disposal. We're winning this fight! Securing A. All points held. Defend your position. Losing Bravo. Lost Bravo. Soldier, your sentry gun is ready. Enemy has B. Losing C. We lost Charlie. Enemy has C.
Target neutralized.
Securing B.
Hostile, moving to the kitchen.
B secure.
Copy that. Reloading.
Losing B. Losing B. We lost Bravo. IMS ready for deployment.
Take the fire.
Securing B. Enemy SATCOM spotted. B secure.
Hostile moving forward.
Good job. Report to command for debrief.
Glow sticks. All right. Yes. Oh, that's not a good sign though. Wire stripper. Toys R Us screwdriver. Electrical tape. Sweet looking dash. It's got just the AMs, but she had the air conditionings. 55,522. 55,000? I don't know, maybe. It's got the same kind of steering wheel as the GTO. 155. I don't know, that armrest is pretty cracked up. Could be the sun though. Look at the seat though, for goodness sakes. Beautiful. Is the seat tore up on underneath your hinder ender? No? Wow. Slick. How is this? Jeez, this would be a nice cruiser. Oh, we got performances. Oh, gaskets. Great. Seat belts. Maybe those? Would they have put black belts into the, I guess, to match the black carpet? Hard to say. Looks like original interior though, or someone did a good job. I mean, keeping it all the same color or scheme. Headliner's headlining. Starting to get a little taut. Tear apart here and there, but looking pretty good. Got the visor still. The makeup mirror. Yeah. What do you think, bud?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Solid old rig. Door cards. Pretty nice, with the exception of the, you know, taped up armrest, but that ain't bad. This one roll down? There we go. Hard top. Okay, jump out and we can show them this. Well, that's cool, huh? Mm-hmm. Nice cruiser. Very sci-fi, futuristic-y, aerospace looking rig. Pretty awesome looking car. Nice interior. Well, it is. Went ahead and be that time to get under the power barn here. See what we got. Holy smokes. Okay. There's an engine. Pontiac made it really easy for a guy back then. Keep the options down so you could just pick up a rig, you know. No, could be a 389 or 400 or 421, or maybe it's 428. Could be a 455. You know what I mean? We'll have to take a look, but it's here. It's in. We got an engine. There's parts. We might have completage. Now that I'm just looking at it, but it's definitely been monkeyed with, big time. I don't know. I'll get you in here. This has been Craigslist rebuilt. You know, it's all brand new steel. You just lost the receipts. But look at this though. We got AC, everything's still in there. Condenser's still in it. Just missing a belt, basically. Don't sound the greatest. Power brakes. We got PS, everything. And then you start seeing the multiple water leaks and the paint stick fuel injection. Someone put an AVS2 on here for whatever reason. Oh, it's missing a bolt. Missing a bolt. Got Evil Bay HEI swap in here. The vacuum advance hanging. This is... Did I work on this? I must have owned... Yep. That's confirmed. I don't know when it was. Someone's done vice grip this or tried. And I guess they just couldn't get it running. Maybe the giant vacuum leaks. I'm not sure. We're going to have to just kind of... What is it? Okay, that's a couple extras. But it's all here. And it looks like there's a transmission hook to the engine. So that's good news as well. It's had a water pump. That looks like a homemade water neck gasket. So that's fine. We'll pretend we didn't see that at all. This is kinked off. You don't need all the flow. It's also an optional thing. And you want the outer sleeve of the upper rad hose to just start skinning itself like that and bulging. That's also just fine. We'll pretend we didn't see that as well. Had sparkulator wires at one point in time. I don't know. It's a good base to start from, I guess. The first thing we ought to do is just see if we can get this engine to rotate. I'm going to clean up the block casting numbers in the front. See what kind of flavor we got going on here first. Guy's going to get a ratchet on the crank bolt down here and just spin this engine over by hand. Going to try to get 360 degrees. Make sure there's not any internal damage or we don't cause any more damage by just nailing on her with the starter, you know. All right. Oh, wow. It had a ring ridge in it. It was stuck, and then did you hear that? Just bang, just popped. Hearing compression. It's spinning now. Boy, she was stuck up pretty good though. Okay. Goes 360 degrees around. Boy, a couple more years sitting, that might have never come back. Well, the engine's rotating. That's great news. Let's check on the Earl here before we go spinning this anymore. Pontiac like to play hide and go peekaboo or whatever it is with the old dipsticks. That's really nice. Way down here, and then you scrape it off on 14 things before you can even hook a peeper on it. What in the world? 79 gallons over full, which means, oh no. Oh yeah. Yep. In fact, I can see it. This oil pan is completely full of gasoline and water, probably starter fluids, things like that. So this is a great indication that, in fact, yes, someone tried to get this running a lot and was not successful. And unfortunately, all that fuel and everything they were dumping in it washed past the rings, went right into the crankcase. Now, it does have, no, not much at all, actually. There's enough viscosity to maybe try to juice up this battery and just see if it twirls with the key. But I think before we go any farther, we need to halt, drop this oil, get the oil changed, because that is terrible. It's about 42 different lightning cables in here. Now they're all black. I don't know who this previous owner was, but I like them. I drink cold snack with them. See, it's Security. Someone tries to steal this, they just burn the rig down by trying to figure out cables. If you can't have it, no one can. Well, at least that's what I think. All right, well, let's twirl on the key. I bet this battery's fully juiced. Nope, never. Oh, you know, back in the day, everybody got in on the drinker side of cars because of safety. They wanted you getting in on the sidewalk side. So we're throwing it back. Here we go, bring the thunders. Bring it again. Sounds like these birds are having a disco party up in the trees. Anyway, the battery's dead, if you could believe that. Oh, radio was on. That didn't do nothing. We got anything else? Nothing. Whoops, I think I just broke that knob. I don't think we got enough battery for anything else. That's weird. Dead batteries never happen around here. Let's try it with the Jumpalizer 6000. I just want to verify that the starter works, the the flex plate isn't broken, you know, all that stuff before we march on here. Okay, let's see what it says now. Yes. Yep. Turns over great. Will note that it's got a gallop in it. So did you hear how it spins over freely, but it's got kind of a beatbox sound to it, you know, the well, one cylinder's got lower compression is what that means. But don't you fret. We could bring that around yet. We don't know what it is. Starter works fine. Boy, that is a big old hoss of a battery. Okay, so now I'm gonna change on the Earl like aforehand mentioned. But before I start that, I'm gonna get this big hoss battery out of here if I can. And let's put this on boil mode. Every project starts with the battery on boil mode, but see, it ain't got the go handle. So now we're struggling. Oh, value if this is or something. I don't know. Head back to the barn, get this battery charging. Diamond Rio to the rescue. Whoa, there was a gauge on the ground there. Did you see that? Huh. I need a little bit of landscaping back here, and I ain't kidding you. Well, it's rained every day for 17 years, so this jack's probably going to hit the core of the earth before it even starts lifting. That's fine. Let's see. That looks like an oil pan. Maybe that'll lift. There we go. Yeah. But this thing did go off-road. There's a ton of overspray in here. So it was a pretty quick paint job, whenever it was. Well, door shut. That's good. Meant to do that. Jack's tipping over. Danger. Danger. Oh, the exhaust is cut off. Huh. It's had new sway bar bushings, and by that I mean spray paint. It's got a Terpsky 400, front drum brakes, one new cotter key. Everything's fine. Oh yeah. Well, let's see what kind of octane gas we can get out of this thing. Very runny, thin. Again, that's all the gas and water. Let that do its thing. Pretty original-ish 2-to-1 setup here. That's kind of cool. It's had ball joints before. Someone maintenanced on it, that's for sure. It's got an acetip filter in here. But the big reason I'm showing you here, see how it's spilling over the top? In that short time we were cranking it, it built oil pressure, which is fantastic news. Old ignition coil hanging on up there, even though we got the high energy ignitions. Got to find some super high performance expensive engine oil for this thing. Nope. Ah, you don't say. Perfect. Throwing a Wix back in her. Write the date and mileage on the bottom of these fellers. A lot of these speedometers don't work. Guy doesn't know what's going on. High performance motor oil. Nope. Just the cheapest diesel oil. But listen, it's got all the dinosaurs and vitamins a guy needs for these old flat tappet engines. 90% of it's getting recycled right now. All right, I think I'm gonna need another quart. Whoops. She's gonna smoke like a scalded coyote when she fires up now. Well, hopefully fires up. Let's see what I can find in the barn to make up for that spillage. Wrestle! Isn't that a candy bar? I don't know, maybe not. Reduces friction. Sure. Quiets noisy lifters. Yeah, we're doing a lot of lifting. Maximizes engines powers. Sure. By the way, did run that number. This is a 404 barrel. This thing should have made 340 horsepower, Some of you are going, ooh, big deal. Listen, this was 1968, fellers. You want, this is a Corvette killer right here, and it's a dang old boat. Okay, blood pressure is getting high. We're gonna put this in, make up for my spillage. Just added 14 horse. Nope, probably not. Well, now that we got Earl in here, we can start spinning this engine over and doing the rest of the 4-stroke engine science. We need sparkles, and we're gonna have to have some sort of fuel. We already know we got compressions because we heard it when we were cranking it over with the ranch. You know what I mean? Now, typically it's still a point system. So there's quite a bit there. You got to test the coil, you got to test the contacts for points, and there might be a ballast resistor, but all that's gone. It's already been swapped on to the high energies. So we're going to say that works because I was going to tell you a story, but it might be a while. Listen, 99.9236% of the time works. I don't know how. Wizards, science, witches, I don't know. They just work, always. So skip that. We need to go to fuel, but instead of fuel delivery, we got to worry about the atomizationals. Meaning this thing ain't even bolted. It's not even, it's missing hardware. So let's just take it off. See if it's even got the right adapteroonie. See if it's got gaskets, because I'm doubting that. Put all that junk back in together. Then we'll worry about fuel delivery. I think I just made a plan. Don't tell anybody that. Okay, here we go. What do we need? 1/2 inch? Maybe. Sockets. That'd be good. This seems fine. You know, make sure you get a washer on there. So the throttle things. Also, you don't need a lazy boy spring for a return, for Pete's sake. What do you got to double leg this thing to get the throttle to move? Oh, there's the, well, that hardware was really on there, you know. Oh, never see that again. Perfect. Listen, I'm not a mechanic, but if you've only got 2 or 4 bolts in your carburetor and she ain't carbonating, maybe add a 3rd. Just a theory I got, you know what I mean? Boy, grade 8 hardware really just went for her on the old tie down. What is this paint stick doing? Is that an anti-kinker 3000? I think it is. But you gotta put something on the other. Yeah. Anyway, it's a mess. AVS 2. Gotta run a performance 4-bar on there. Okay. Oh. Floats are floating. I can hear them just, sounds like jingle bells in there. And as suspected, not even remotely close to the right adapteroonie. That's just a spacer for a square bore, not a square bore to a quadrant junk kind of setup. I'll just show you. Come in here and look real quick. Standing over there. Here's your square bore pattern. Well, you could tell because it makes a square. And then like a spread bore or like a quadrant junk goes like this, and then it goes whoop. You know, the old lid flip back section. Well, that's what this intake's supposed to be. But look at this. Look at that junk. What's this doing? Nothing. Completely wrong. Look at the, you can see where the imprints are, where it should be. There's no way this was going to run right. So that is your typical GM spread bore or quadrajet style intake. And this is just a spacer for yellow broken. See? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to put this in the shelf. That's good, but let me go get the right one so we can get this bolted up correctly to that intake. So here is the proper Edelbroken bracket. Had this up in the barn. Yeah, that looks the same, right? But it's not. See that?
That's that spread bore pattern. So when this lays over on this, now we can take that square bore carburetor and see these runners and everything. Everything is machined for an edel broken, but it's going to fit on that spread bore. These are like 15 bucks, I think, or something like that. They come with all the hardware and everything. We just boop, put that back on. Oh, got some red wasps coming in. Wonder what Tim McGraw's doing today. I really just don't know. He hasn't written back yet. Got the adapter Rooney on. That's the base plate here, just putting these studs in. We'll throw a gasket on top, and then we can throw that edel broken right on here with some nuts. Snug her back down. We shouldn't have any more vacuum leaks, which I guarantee you that puppy had. Yep, this looks brand new. I don't think there's any reason to crack that open. Things are looking sideways. Potentially slightly angled up. Not all the way up though. Got this fresh unit all bolted on here onto the throttle linkages. Now, this was like wallered into here. I typically never use this unless it's for a return spring that I just hook on some wires or something up here, you know. But we got this bracket try on here that's doing the deal there. This is the one you want to aim for. Sometimes you got to waller her out, but Edelbroken actually makes a kit you can buy that has a very small shaft little bolt that'll go through here with the proper little stud or ball stud that'll boop, and that's where that throttle is going to connect. And it's just got this old style swing, you know, whoop, 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 kind of throttle here. And then we're going to make sure that we're getting wide open throttle and that threaded rod isn't impeding. Oh, we're going to be right there. See what I'm doing here? Just make sure, you gotta, who cares what this does? Make sure it does this. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna run up to the barn and get an assortment of doodads for the throttle linkage thingy. And then I'll go get that lightning cube. That's been on boil sizzle mode for quite some time now. Should be stinging the nostrils, just perfect. And we might try to just use this clicky clacky, or maybe we'll just throw something right down the yap. See if we can get this thing to bark off and make a little bit of noise. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Maybe it's charged now? No, I guarantee it's not. Ain't got no go handle, so. Okay, I guess that's where it's in now. Happy cable on. Sad cable. Let's see if it cranks now. Climbing in, coming over. Ugh. Oh yeah, we got crankage. Positive crankalization. Good, that's great. Well, the guy did go on ahead and install the old Lone Wolf 6000. You know, that's neat. Well, I was under there, I was looking at the bell housing bolts, stuff like that. Pretty good judge on that stuff anymore, and I believe this engine's never been separated from the transmission. So the old 55,000 mile thing, you know, it's still floating around. We could pin it up for now. We are missing a manifold bolt in the rear there, so I went ahead and ignored that as well. I think what we're going to do before we figure out this clicky-clacky is just dump some Firemaker down it. Just hear it pop and bang and run for a second. Then we, you know, got some motivationals to charge forward. Okay, sure. Found this outside the weeds. I believe it's to my son's nitro fuel cars. It's like 3% fuel, a little bit of gas, oil, so. All right, sure. Works great for dumping down the old pipe later here. Gotta get a little bit into the vent. So if and it feels like it, might sit here and idle for a second. Nope, probably not. Whoa. You can tell it's afternoon, getting a little shaky. There we go. All right. Whoa. That was way too much. Perfect. Let me twist the key. Make sure we got sparkles. I should say, assume we're gonna have sparkles. Never tested spark. Here we go. I'm bringing in the thunders. It fired. We got spark. Look at that. Wow. Valve train is not happy, but give it a minute. Look at that. It sounded pretty good. Yes, it's a runner. Man, it runs really good, actually. Of course, we got the valve train just banging away in there on heaven's door. But listen, it could come around. We just changed the Earls. It's got to build Earl pressure again. We knew it did when we were cranking on it earlier. But man, it lit just boom, right off. That's great news. And I didn't hear the Pontiac timing chain slop, which 10 out of 10 have. So that's good. That's really good. Okay, so now we got to figure out a more gooder or better fuel setup. See if we get this thing idling for a couple minutes, because we got to make sure that the freeze plugs are good and the head gaskets and the other gaskets inside the engine that have gaskets. They're doing gasket things and everything is, you know, the thermostats, and all of that stuff. But we're getting there. Man, this is a good car. Already thinking about wheel choices. Got some ideas. I do. I said it. Well, see these here clicky-clacky 10,000s. Hello? They're meant to push fuel, not pull. So if and a guy was going to put it in the wrong spot, there it is. So I'm going to go on a date here with this here vehicle and just suck on this hose. See if I can get some fuel from the tank, because I don't know if it's got fuel in it. You know what I mean? Or if there's lines blocked. You got a little bit of something, but it ain't a lot. Let's plug it back in. Let's fire it up. I don't know if it's got fuel in the tank. Didn't seem restricted though. Let's blow through it, see if we can get through the pickup sock. Get woozy. Oh. Well, truth went on ahead and be told. I already put all my bad lawnmower gas from last season into my daily driver, my Packard. So I'm gonna find some jugs full of water around here. There's one over here. Run down to the fuel station, top them off with whatever the cheapest they got. And let's dump, well, we're on a big hill here. You know, let's put 10 gallons in her. See if we can succulate on that a little bit. Get some fuel in this puppy, and she'll fire. Well, the guy changed on his mind. Went ahead and ran into town here to the co-op because they've got 87 no ethanol. So I'll get these filled up, get them in the car. Also, while I'm in town here, get something wet back neck, priority. And then also try to get a mechanical fuel pump and one of them upper rad juice shooter hoses. That'd be nice. So as expected, got some fuel in it and the clicky clacky. Well, it's sucking more wind than anything. They're meant to push. So it's intermittently getting us fuel, but let's go ahead and see if it's just enough feed to make this thing idle for a couple minutes. That would be pretty cool. Bring in the thunders. Wow. How come my professional connection, there we go. Bring it in again. Well, that's doing the thing. Boy, that belt is loose. Looks like a piece of licorice left in the dash of some sort of old Buick. Come on now. I think it wants more idle. Oh, how come I can't give it that? Oh, these are turned in all the way. Yeah, someone was just, I mean, they were trying, but they was struggling with this. There we go. It's running. It's doing the thing. Oil pressure light isn't on, which I confirm does work. Got straight pipes. Should say pipe. Hey, it ain't deleting on mosquitoes though. You notice this? That's pretty good. Oh, she sounds like a boat under.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. See, here's the thing about not being a complete fraud. When you say something, you should actually mean it. You should be able to stand by your work. You should have thought through what you are saying and defend it in spite of the fact that people might attack you for it. That's okay. I have opinions every single day on this show, and people destroy me for them. That's okay. I believe them, and I want to have the argument. I want to have the conversation, but I'm not going to humiliate myself and run. People are going to disagree with me on the internet. That's okay. But the issue with the woke is that they never think through their arguments, and they just throw stuff out there in their little hermetically sealed bubbles in Manhattan and Chicago and Montreal and inside of these little liberal bastions where they believe the entire world, LA, the whole world thinks like me, right? And when they get a little bit of pushback, they fold. They've never experienced someone disagreeing with them. And that is happening right now in a big way in the marketing sector of major beer companies. Bud Light, of course, famously, and now Miller Lite. Miller Lite dropped this massive turd on the world, which is this cringy ad where they have a non-comedian, Lana Glazer. Tell me one funny joke that Lana Glazer has told. I don't know. Wander around griping and that women had to wear bikinis in advertising for Miller Lite at one point. Oh no! Miller Lite used sex to sell an item just like essentially every other product in human history, including Lana Glazer? Because if you go over to Lana Glazer's social media accounts, all you'll find effectively are photos of her in a bikini. Here's Lana Glazer bikini, something I never wanted to Google, trust me. But here we go. Thousands and thousands of photos of her wearing a bikini. Very revealing stuff. I mean, geez. Watch out. Shouldn't be looking at this stuff at work. I just did one swipe through her Instagram account. One swipe. I wasn't even looking. And here's something that was posted 3 weeks ago of her in a bikini that, like, a dinner napkin has more material on it. She's hugging a tree wearing virtually nothing. This has 171,000 likes. Posted on April 19th. Posted a month after she did this ad griping and mewling about women having to wear bikinis on the internet and in advertising.
Ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow. Here's her Instagram account with millions of photos of her in a bikini for attention. Got it? Here's her in publicity shots in bikinis. Here's her on her show in bikinis. Making sexual jokes, making sexual... Like, again, it's so fraudulent. It's so embarrassing. Miller Lite apologizes for using women in bikinis to sell beer. It's so fraudulent. It's so embarrassing. They're getting ratioed into infinity for this. 20,000 dislikes, 1,000 likes on this ad. They haven't turned off the comments yet. We'll see. I am shocked this is still up. But there is something that isn't up anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It is the people who actually made the decision to publish this ad. The individuals behind the ad have been systematically deleting their social media and their LinkedIn accounts. Uh-oh. Yes, indeed. Miss Strong woman, strong executives inside of the Miller brand have been nuking their accounts out of shame for this advertising campaign. It's time beer made it up to women. Miller Lite apologizes for using women in bikinis to sell beer. So who was making these decisions? Well, first and foremost, you have Sophia Colucci. Sophia Colucci is the chief marketing officer for Molson Coors. So if they're going to hire a non-funny anti-comedian and pay her presumably big fat royalty check for this ad featuring wooden barrels. This is not what a brewery looks like, you idiots. Featuring wooden whiskey barrels. Not what a brewery looks like. That's not how beer is brewed, especially Miller Lite. But anyway, I digress. The person who would sign off on this campaign would be Sophia Colucci. Sophia Colucci was in a recent Ad Age article bragging about their International Women's Day release for inclusivity purposes. Bragging also about their inclusivity agenda for LGBT, alphabet communities, and for Latino communities. So Sophia Colucci, you assume, would be herself a woman, would be so proud of this advertising campaign, and for her, driving a stake through the heart of the patriarchy. The only interesting thing here is that what you're seeing here on your screen is a ghost. This is me doing research for you, dear viewer, because I love you, having Sophia Colucci's LinkedIn account open. But if you go search for her name right now on LinkedIn, what you'll find is she has deleted her profile. Completely and totally non-existent. I only have this up because it's like an archive. This has been like saved on my computer. So there's an archive of what used to be there. Her profile photo doesn't even show up anymore. So Instagram is now scrubbing the internet of Sophia Colucci, this chief marketing officer. Let's take a little trip down memory lane for Elizabeth Hitch. Why are we talking about Elizabeth Hitch? Well, Elizabeth Hitch is somebody who released a PR statement on this advertising campaign. Miller Lite is turning bad S into good S, says this PR Newswire release. There's no beer without women. By the way, this is so unbelievably empirically false. What a statement. What an unbelievable lie. There's no beer without women. Okay, well, there's no America without men, because it was exclusively men who fought in the Revolutionary War. How about that? Anyone can play this game, you idiots. Elizabeth Hitch is listed here describing how excited she is for this ad. Elizabeth Hitch talks about how Miller Lite Last year, we launched the Mary Leslie cans to celebrate women's achievements in beer. Nobody's ever heard of Mary Leslie. No one has any clue who Mary Leslie is. Hitch said, this year we're going further with our commitment to supporting women loving beer, who brew beer, helping them make their own mark in history, and do good. She says, oh, got it. She's very, very edgy. She's so edgy. Elizabeth Hitch is so edgy. She's bragging about this on her LinkedIn page, certainly, right? Right here. Here's a Google result for her LinkedIn page. Here, let's go ahead and click on it. Oh, interesting. Something funny happened on the way down to the woke store. It was closed. Sorry. We're all out. It's gone. It's gone. See you later to the woke store. Here's another. Gone. Wow. Unbelievable. Here's another one for Elizabeth Hitch. Another. Gone. All of them. Gone. They're nuking their accounts. They're frauds. They're not actually proud of women in brewing. They're not proud of these advertisements. This video, by the way, is unlisted. Watch it while you can. I mean, we have it saved, of course, so it'll never, ever be able to be taken off the internet. Watch it while you can. This is unlisted by Miller Lite. They're such frauds. They're such frauds. Look at them. They're such virtue signalers. When given an opportunity to defend their work here, they delete their accounts. The slightest pushback from outside of their bubbles, they delete their accounts. And they shame these women who are, these are like photos from the 90s and 80s and the 2000s. They shame these women in advertising campaigns that Miller paid for and try and make you feel bad for their old advertisements, which there was nothing wrong with in the first place. What a destructive and disgusting worldview. These people deserve to be shamed. They hired these paid actresses. You're going to have to prove to me that these women are actual brewers. Just prove it to me. You prove to me. What brewery does she run? Is it in the description? What is she doing all day? She's handling beer bottle cans all day? That's what she does? That's literally that lady's job? That's what you do, lady? You just stare at empty beer bottles? Got it. Show me that position. They hire actresses, and they make up this fraudulent narrative that women have been victims of the beer industry. From a Miller Lite campaign. I just can't. These people. They deserve the shame. They deserve the scorn. They deserve the humiliation. Shame upon them. Ladies and gentlemen, good riddance. Boycott Miller. Boycott Miller. Let's go. I'm ready for a new one. We done our business with Bud Light. Don't let me see you drinking Bud Light, and don't let me see you drinking Miller Lite. It's time for pain. We are the ones who are actually in control because we're the paying customer. It's your boy Benny. I'm standing up for you, the paying customer, and you have every right.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs. Babyface. Remember a couple of 3 weeks ago, we had that whole deal with Bud Light and he whose name cannot be mentioned because the organization who apparently is under fire and vulnerable is actually the most protected by all corporations, and they will rain down with righteous fury and something anger, whatever it is from Pulp Fiction. Didn't go too well for Anheuser-Busch, did it? Stock price dropped, went up a little bit, wow, dropped quite steeply again. Not only that, sales are down considerably with Bud Light, and a recent report is showing that it's not just affecting Bud Light now. Other Anheuser-Busch brands, subsidiaries, are being affected by what's going on. Well, did you know, I didn't until today, that a couple of months back, Miller beer, Miller Lite, why is it the light stuff? You know, Bud Light, Miller Lite. They decided that they were actually doing this route prior to that, but they went down a different one. They didn't go down the he whose name cannot be mentioned route. They went down and this is going to work well for beer drinkers, the intersectional feminist route. Because there's nothing I think a beer drinker likes more than having the brand that they prefer lecture them about what they should like, what appeals to them, how they should behave? How about you shut the fuck up and just sell your crappy piss water? Huh? So we got this advert here. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And let's go through this, shall we? And we can see what this bundle of fun's like.
Here's a little known
Hello and welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Geeky Sparkles, and we are here today to talk about some dismal Disney news. Apparently, there is a class action lawsuit being filed against former CEO Bob Chapek, current CFO Christine McCarthy, and Chapek's former right-hand hench person Kareem Daniel. Among other people apparently that are going to be involved in this. They're filing the suit on behalf of a pension fund in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. Apparently they're complaining that they were repeatedly misled about the success of Disney Plus by concealing the true cost of the platform, concealing the expense and difficulty of maintaining robust Disney Plus subscriber growth, and claiming that the platform was on track to achieve profitability by the end of fiscal year 2024. They said that they alleged that the debuted content created for Disney Plus initially on a legacy platform in order to shift marketing and production costs onto that platform. This is according to the filing of Local 272 Labor Management Pension Fund. I think that's talking about the idea that we talked about before, where they supposedly were putting things as a Disney Channel project, and then it would go on Disney Plus, or it was listed as a film project, so they could take from that budget and putting it on Disney Plus. I know Neon had covered it. They talked about before that the Wall Street Journal, people familiar with the matter, shared that shows intended to be and billed as Disney Plus originals, including The Mysterious Benedict Society and Doogie Kamealoha, how you say that, MD, were aired first on other networks such as Disney Channel. So their production and marketing budgets wouldn't be counted against Disney Plus's production and marketing budgets. In this way, the streaming service was seen as losing less money than the original content. Chief Financial Officer Christine McCarthy, who was reportedly one of the voices behind Chapek's removal, was concerned about this strategy. And now she's being named in this lawsuit. So I went out, you can actually go to the lawsuit. If you go to the Bloomberg article, bloomberglaw.com, they have a link to it. Now, here's what they're talking about. They're talking about how the company was reorganized in 2020 when Bob Chapek became CEO. Iger was still there. I want to make sure he's not named in this, but he was still there. He was over as an executive chairman, but he was still there and involved, but he's not being named. Back then, they reorganized into the 4 segments: the media networks of Park Experiences and Products, Studio Entertainment, and Direct to Consumer International. The Disney Media and Entertainment was called DMED. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going through here. That's what they're talking about when they say DMED. So they said DMED was responsible for the monetization of all Disney content globally, both distribution and advertising sales. They oversaw the operation of the company's streaming services. With this new structure, Chapek removed budgetary and distribution control from the heads of Disney content groups and placed control in the hands of DMED's new chairman, Kareem Daniel. Okay, so that's what they're bringing him into this for. So they said that this was responsible for determining which platform the company's content would be released on, whether it be the streaming service, a television network, or traditional movie theaters. There is a seismic shift happening in the marketplace, and you can either lead or follow, and we chose to lead, Chapek said. This ties back to they would release it on Disney Plus, so the budget would come from there, and it would look like, just temporarily, they put it on Disney Plus, so they were like juggling money in different divisions to make it look like Disney Plus was losing less money. That's the argument, okay? So they come down to here, and here's what they're calling their fraudulent scheme. During the class period, defendants repeatedly misled investors about the success of Disney Plus platform by concealing the true cost of the platform, concealing the expense and difficulty of maintaining robust Disney Plus subscriber growth, and claiming that the platform was on track to achieve profitability and 230 to 260 million paid global subscribers by the end of fiscal 2024. And they're losing subscribers. But they, to be fair, until, a couple quarters ago, they were gaining each time. However, there was reasons, we've mentioned it, I know other people have mentioned it. Some of the initial gains and some of the gains they made with the Disney Plus was they had offered the low $6.99 introductory rate. They had things that if you bought like 3 years of it, you were locked in at one set price and they couldn't, increase your price on you. They had all like the Verizon and different deals where if you have a subscription there, you got free Disney Plus for a year or 3 months or whatever they were doing. All those things were to inflate the numbers. Then we had his Hail Mary move where he made everything rolled into the bundle so he can count the subscribers 3 separate times. And they kept touting their subscriber numbers. So that's what they're going to talk about here. Defendants made these representations notwithstanding the fact that initial subscriber numbers for Disney Plus had been boosted temporarily and unsustainably by the low launch price of $6.99 per month, a bevy of additional short-term low-cost promotions, and near captive audience of consumers who were homebound due to COVID-19. The homebound due to COVID-19, they really, how do you quantify that? And beyond that, that's the same across the board. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with that one so much because everybody knew it was temporary, but it was boosted all the way across all the streaming services. So that one I think you're going to have a little harder time on. But I'm not a lawyer, but I think that would be a little hard to prove. As a result, the consumers most likely to subscribe to Disney Plus are already done so. Yeah, if you're going to subscribe, you would have done it by then. Furthermore, Disney was suffering staggering costs in creating the content needed to attract such a large number of subscribers in the highly competitive streaming wars that were raging among Disney's many competitors such as Netflix, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, YouTube, and Peacock. They knew about this when Bob Iger is the one who brought Disney Plus, okay? They knew that there was going to be a war with this. They knew it was going to be a long haul, and it was going to be a streaming war. They knew this because he was on the board, but they were trying to figure out what to call Apple. He knew this was going to be a problem. So that actually it is on Bob Chapek, but it's also on Bob Iger. But Bob Iger, like usual, gets to skirt through it. Here's the thing about this too. This also ties back to when Chapek was asked if it was quality over quantity, and he basically said quantity because we want to have the more stuff that's there, the more likely you're going to get people to subscribe. So it was a deluge of shit. And because of that, a diarrhea shower, because of that, it ended up making people unsubscribe or they weren't getting quality content. It's not just Disney's fault for that. Several streaming services did the same thing. And now they're trying to course correct. I also want to point out about the company being restructured. When Bob Iger came back, one of the first things he did was restructure the company. They were losing money on Disney Plus. There was a shuffling of the money from one platform to another, which is why Christine McCarthy, called the woman she called to take care of it. And that's been true. That's been said before. But there are already problems because by the time Bob Chapek was almost gone, that's when he said that layoffs were coming and they were going to have to do cost cutting. Because I think at that point it was like, oh crap, we got caught. So when Bob Iger came back in, it was his job to fix the damage. So he still made the cuts, but now they had to cut $5.5 billion across the company to keep it more quote unquote nimble. They lost a lot of money. Now, it's not all because of Disney Plus. A lot of it could be because the pandemic was over and people were going back to work and they were all, the sky was the limit with the money and the subscribers, and that went away. Some of that was preventable. Some of it, I don't think it would have, it's not really their fault because that's the situation across the board. So, but I don't know if they're going to be achieving profitability. They keep saying they're going to be achieving profitability by 2024, but they are losing subscribers. They said to conceal the adverse effects, defendants engage in a fraudulent scheme designed to hide the extent of Disney Plus losses and to make the growth trajectory of Disney Plus subscribers appear sustainable. And in 2024, Disney Plus targets appear achievable when they were not. So they were saying specifically defendants used the newly created DMED to inappropriately shift costs of Disney Plus's platform and onto legacy platforms, which is where they put things on Disney Plus first and then said it was from that budget and different things, so they juggled it around. So what's going on is they're saying that Chapek and Christine McCarthy and Kareem Daniel, which two of them are gone and one of them's still there, and she's the one that kind of called them out on it. So I don't know why she's really in this, in this lawsuit. But if it actually goes to class action lawsuit, they're going to go after them because they're saying basically they lied about the numbers. They lied about how long it would take to be profitable. He shifted around budgets from legacy media to, like we talked about, to make it look like Disney Plus was costing less when actually it was costing more, that kind of stuff. So now this labor union, this labor management pension fund, they're trying to sue because they've probably lost a lot of money as the Disney stock has gone considerably down since 2020. And it's costing them and all their people that they represent a large loss. So they're saying that Disney says they're going to defend vigorously against it in court. So they need another lawsuit for Disney because they don't have enough going on, apparently. And they're saying that this is a proposed class would include hundreds or thousands of members, the complaint estimates. So it's probably going to be a matter of, are they going to allow the class action lawsuit to progress? If so, then it'll probably be open to people that might have lost. I mean, they'll have members from their own group, and then sometimes they allow other groups to come in, or they might file other class action lawsuits against Disney, especially if they win. I don't know if they can prove this one. There's some grounds for it because it's, flat out was said, even back here on the Wall Street Journal, that reports indicate. But reports indicating is not the same as someone actually just admitting to it. But we know Disney does this kind of stuff. Remember the whistleblower when we talked about that? Why she came forward was because their software was catching errors where they were like getting gift cards and selling merchandise, and then they were like double counting it. So it looked like they were more profitable than they were. So if they sold a gift card for $100, someone used the gift card for $100, that's still only $100. But what they were doing was, even if they gave them away, they were still only losing $100. But they were writing it as $200. The $100 was given, it was spent on the gift card, and $100 was purchased to make it look more profitable, allegedly. So this is not new. Disney shifted around books for a while. That would have been under Iger. I love how he's not included in this, even though he was the one who set forth Disney Plus and went along with the restructuring and all that crap. But okay, whatever. Some of the board, you think some of the board would be mentioned because they knew about this stuff. They agreed to it. They announced it at the investor meetings. Are the board members of the board being named? Because they would be involved. They would know what was going on. The only ones who wouldn't know what was going on would be the investors who are giving the money to the board and to the company and trusting them to do what's right. Anyway, we'll see what happens with this. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm sure there's other lawyers out there that will definitely cover this. They'll give you much more information than I can give you. I'm just saying, here's what's going on. So, we will talk to you later. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.
Pre-order the Clownfish TV comic book right now on